everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and it is time for another showdown in the Badlands card review. We have 9 more neutral cards, including some ridiculous power creep, a coin generator that terrifies me, and, well, just a bunch of, kind of bad neutral cards that we'll review. And if you want to win these cards, including, the good cards as well, we have a giveaway going on for 2 regular pre-orders, a mega bundle out of my pocket. All you have to do to enter the giveaway, like and comment in the video description below. We are just like 100 subs or so away, just about over 100 away from unlocking that next mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. So let's take a look at the neutral cards, including the one that scares me quite a bit. We've seen this be broken before. The Rowdy Partner, a 2-mana 2/3 battle cry. If you're holding another 2-cost card, get a coin. We've seen these coin generators be pretty broken and wild with Quest Mage, getting those coins and basically completing your quest. We've also seen it be very broken with Shadow Step. In particular, that whole the 2-mana 3/2 death rattle that gives you a coin that you can shadow step. That's seeing play right now in Miracle Rogue, and saw play back in before it rotated in the rogues with the location and all that. And yeah, if you're holding a 2-cost card, you get a coin, and you can shadow step this and get more coins, and Quest Mage do that. Those are the main decks that stand out as what you want to do. We know Yogg's getting nerfed, so we'll have to see if this will be relevant for Yogg or whatever, because getting coins is spells cast, so that's relevant. So again, harder to evaluate, but typically any card on a battle cry that's giving you coins for the most part has seen meta play, and the condition is not that difficult. 2-cost cards, particular, if you're looking at Rogue, you got Potion Belts, the Bone Spike card, all sorts of stuff that it's probably pretty consistent to get off that you're getting that coin. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 in standard and wild for the fact that, yeah, coins are pretty good, in particular with mana cheat and other strategies like that, getting Arcane Giants in wild. I just think in both formats it has a shot, and I wish they wouldn't make cards like this, honestly. The coin generator cards always feel like they end up being super degenerate. Next we have the Linedance Partner, a 3-mana 3/2. Wow, bad stats for the cost. That's rare these days. Battle Cry, if you're holding another 3-cost card, summon a random 3-cost minion. Yeah, I don't imagine any deck plays this hard runs this in ladder, standard, wild. I can't see it happening. You might get another Linedance Partner, another 3. I mean, it's a decent amount of stats, I guess. The worst case scenario in wild, at least, is a Blubber Baron. I think it's a 1/1. You're still getting a 3-mana 4/3 across 2 bodies, but is that really what you want to do with your constructed ladder deck? I don't think so. And again, you got to be holding a 3-cost card, so it could be a dead situation, and 3-mana cards aren't as probably commonly run as 2. I'd have to take a look at the math, but overall, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 in standard, a 1 out of 5 in wild. I just don't see this thing play, even though it's maybe a crazy stat bomb where in wild in particular, I get Injured Blade Master, 4/7, but you can also get a 4/8 that can't attack and all sorts of bad stuff. I just don't see it as a meta card. I just can't. So yeah, 1 in standard, 1 in wild. We have the Rowdy Partner, a 4-mana 4/3 minion battle cry. If you're holding another 4-cost card, deal 4 damage. So that can go face. It could be shadow stepped. We got all these battle cry cards. You always have to bring that up, but then it costs 2, and there's better damage things you can do. Again, you gotta be holding 4-cost cards. The higher the mana cost, the rarer it is for it feels like that these cards can be reliably. I like the best one in terms of the payoff is arguably a coin, and it's the easiest at 2 mana. Damage is good. This probably sees Arena play, although Arena, ironically, 4-cost cards aren't at a premium. You don't get, there's not a ton of good 4-drop picks usually, and you're not consistently going to have this go off either. Again, I'm going to give it, just because it deals damage, and there's a possibility of some weird combo again with Shadow Step shenanigans, or in Wild with like Scabs maybe. I really doubt it. There's just better stuff to do. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. I'm not gonna say it's completely unplayable, completely terrible like the 3-drop one, which I do think pretty much is. This has some validity possibly, but I still don't think outside of some like weird like jank combo deck somehow it'll really see much play. We have the Eroded Sentiment, or Sediment, sorry, a 3-mana 4/3 elemental battle cry. If you played an elemental last turn, discover an elemental from the past. This one's a little bit different. I think there was one where if you played an elemental last turn or played a spell, you got to discover a spell, something along those lines. We've seen that card, but this one can discover an elemental. This can discover Zeph. That's right. You want to play Highlander decks in Standard, and you want to play Zephyrs, because I don't think he's going to be a part of this expansion. This is a way to discover him if you get really lucky. I wonder if Ragnaros would be included, because yes, he's in the core set, but he's also a classic card. So typically that usually works out, where even if it's in the core set, you could go from other sets. You could get like Blaze Caller, or, you know, I don't even know if it'll be restricted to your class. Like if you're playing Mage, can you only discover Mage elementals from the past, or can I find Shaman or other classes? I'm not entirely sure if it'll obey the discover rules that heavily. Regardless, I don't think it sees real meta play. Elemental decks still aren't really a thing. There are some payoffs we're seeing. Maybe they're good enough to make this see play. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 as it stands right now. Maybe there's some really good class elementals we'll see that'll be like, okay, you know what? I really want to run elementals, particular like Mage with that 7/4 that could deal 7, or Shaman's got some payoffs lately as well. Maybe, but 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild, because yeah, it's still just a 3-mana 4/3 that doesn't do anything other than give you some value, but it's kind of cool that you can get like Zeph or something like that. So that's pretty darn neat. We have the dangblasted elemental, so another elemental, 4-mana 3/3. It has taunt, death rattle, deal damage to all minions except friendly elementals. So this can still damage elementals if your opponent has them, but it won't hurt yours. So that's kind of cool. This, you would want to run this strictly to elemental deck, but the deal 2 damage is just, in today's game, almost everything is like 3 health, man. It's so hard to like kill anything. Like everything's like, you look at all these minions for the most part, it's a 4/3, a 4/3. I guess they could kill this, a 3/2, a 2/3. It just, that damage output doesn't line up very well. It's what makes that like Prison Breaker so good. It deals 3 and it goes face. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. Again, maybe in a really heavy elemental deck, you might want to do this. In Wild, where you have Frostlich Jaina, this would have Lifesteal if that's active, and the Death Rattle of Lifesteal, but she costs 9 mana, and you're playing Wild, so good luck with that. But yeah, I'll give it a 2 out of 5 in both formats, but it's a pretty cool card and a pretty funny name. We have the Welp Wrangler, a 2-mana 2/3. At the end of your turn, get a 1/2 Welp with Taunt. This is like the double unholy card for Death Knight, except you only get a 1/2 instead of a 1/3 taunt, but that's a 2/2. They just power crept on like a really good unholy card, pretty much. I guess the taunt's not quite as good, but that's crazy. Or there's an old card in Wild, Green Jelly, which was a 5-mana 3/3. At the end of your turn, get a 1/2 Welp taunt, and it is a Welp. It's a happy Welp. Look, it's so cute. It's a dragon, and if you have Raid Boss and Nixie on the board, this would give your Raid Boss immune. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty insane for a 2-drop. Honestly, this could see play in like token-based decks. Premium stats, a 1/2 Welp taunt. I think it's a possible meta card. I will give it a 3 out of 5 in Standard, a 3 out of 5 in Wild. It doesn't even need a corpse to play the thing. It just feels really weird that it's that much better over, like, it seems like that much better over a Deathlight card, this neutral. And that Deathlight card just came out a year ago. So that is pretty wild to me. Next we have the Gaslight. Oh my God, we're gonna gaslight people. Gatekeeper, a 3-mana 3/4 battle cry. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw that many cards. That is an interesting one. I guess it's kind of similar to the Finley card. So basically you're gonna empty your hand, it gets shuffled into your deck, and then you draw whatever you had. Basically, it's a way of recycling. It's also an undead. I don't know what plays this. Like, Finley's probably better in most situations where you're getting the bottom of your deck. You want to get all new cards, but maybe this is like, you know, you can redraw those cards, right, that you shuffled. I want to see the highlight of someone shuffling their hand into their deck and then draw all the same cards again. That could be pretty funny. It's just another way to possibly recycle your deck. And this one says draw that many cards rather than swap. So like if you're playing Demon Hunter where you want to draw a bunch of cards and deal damage or discount stuff, this can do that, right? It's drawing those cards. So there are potential synergies out there. And it's a 3-mana 3/4 undead with premium stats. These type of effects always see play somewhere. They just typically do, and it is one of the more expensive options we've seen. I get Warlock had that 2-mana spell back in the day in WoW that would do basically the same thing, and that even saw play not until the quest became really meta. But again, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard WoW. This has a shot. It's a neutral shuffler. Like, that has validity to it. I feel like some deck somewhere will utilize this at some point. So I think we'll see play. I just don't know where and when, but I wouldn't write this card off at all. We have the Dryscale Deputy, a 2-mana 2/2 Naga battle cry. The next time you draw a spell, you get a copy of it. So it's just value, and it's whatever, like, right? You can play it. It's going to be active no matter whenever you get your next spell. It could be a plague. It could be a plague, and then you get a copy of that plague, because a plague is a spell. It could be the snake oil. It could be a bomb in Wild, right? There are other things that could possibly be. I don't think decks really care about getting an extra copy of a spell in today's game, and it's an understated minion. It does have the Naga try, but since Spite Last Siren got nerfed, not super relevant. I'll give it 2 out of 5 in standard and wild. I just value, unless it's like the infinite or mana cheat variety, typically doesn't see a heck of a lot of play these days. We have the Tram Mechanic, a 1-mana 2/1 Death Rattle. You get a barrel of sludge. A barrel of sludge. Toxic waste. This is a card for me. That's toxic. Handle with care. So what's a barrel of sludge? It's this spell. It's a fell spell. 2 mana. When this is played, discarded, or destroyed, deal 3 damage to the lowest health enemy. So kind of like a Fell Barrage type of effect where you can play this for 2. It deals 3 to, if there's no minions on the board, this goes face. It can be amplified with spell damage. Discard Warlock synergies. Destroyed. It's very hard to destroy cards. We did see that dual card yesterday where the lowest card gets destroyed. So you could duel and draw, and then if they have a more expensive card, the Barrel of Sludge would get destroyed and then go off. Deathwing destroys cards. That would do it. Or does he discard, actually? I'm not sure. But regardless, there's not a lot of destroy effects in the game. At least yet. You never know. There's still more reveals. You never know. But yeah, is this good? What deck? I guess outside of discard Warlock, what really wants to play that? And again, we don't have a ton of discard synergies, destroy synergies. And for 2 mana, it's not really good enough when Death or Demon Hunter has the spell only one that basically does the same thing. It deals 3. I don't know if it's just a random minion or random enemy, but it draws a card. I don't think you're playing this. I think it's a 2 out of 5 in standard wild, but maybe there's some weird barrel of sludge deck that emerges. I have no idea. Anyways, that's all the neutrals. There's some valid ones here. There's some scary ones here. And there's some pack filler ones, but starting tomorrow, I believe Priest reveals start, and that means the class cards are coming. Oh no, Priest, disgusting. I'm not revealing them this time, all right? It's okay. But yeah, Priest class reveals are starting, so the power level probably gonna be amping up a ton if you're worried about that. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.